A Search in Vedic India, Chapter 10, Seeking Truth. What do you exactly mean by your investigation into truth? What is in your mind? Asked Swami after they settled down in the Mantapam. Albert looked at Vimala once and said, I am here as an individual. I see the world around me. There is an opinion that there should be some higher power like God. What is the relation between these three? We would like to know. Vimala agreed to what Albert said. Why do you want to know? There should be some reason or purpose, isn't it so? Asked Swami. Everybody in the world is struggling with the cycle of pleasure and pain. When things happen that are not in his control, he believes that a higher power, God, causes them. But is there no way that one could be free from that cycle? Do you believe the existence of God? Asked Swami. There is no direct experience of such power, but it is obvious that some power beyond human power is operating, and we cannot deny it. But we have no idea what it is and how it would be, etc., said Vimala. You have mentioned three things. You, the world, and a higher power called God, believed to be existing by many. You need not make a separate effort for each of them. If you know who you are, you will know the remaining two. Since there is no corresponding correct English word, let us use the words for Rupam for all the three words, knowing who you are. Many philosophers in the world tried to find answers to your questions, but many could not find a comprehensive explanation. When you listen to certain statements of Christ and Sufi saints, it appears that they have grasped the truth. Arthur Schopenhauer said one thing, I have seen only two wonderful things in the world. One is the starry sky with billions of stars when I look up in the night, and the other is the Upanishads literature of the East. What are Upanishads? Asked Albert. Vedas are known as Shrutis, implying that they were revealed to great sages in deep meditation. Sage Vyasa divided them into 4 Vedas. Each Veda contains many prayers, procedures, mantras, etc. for the fulfillment of specific desires. But they all form part of religion based on a belief system. At the end of each Veda, there are Upanishads. Upanishads are not related to religion. They are spiritual texts answering many questions like those you have raised. They could apply to anybody irrespective of one's religious beliefs. The essence of those Upanishads was also given in Bhagavad Gita, explained Swamiji. Albert remembered the discussion he had with the principal of Vedic school in Sri Ramanashramam. So, to find replies to my questions, I have to learn Sanskrit and study Upanishads. It may take a lot of time. It appears that there are no TV talks or public talks on Upanishads. I have not come across any, said Vimala. People who give public lectures speak only those matters which are sought by many ordinary people. How many show interest to know the truth and prefer to go beyond blind beliefs? How to study them and understand them is another big secret. Very few people are aware of it, said Swamiji. Is it a big secret? What is contained in the Upanishads? Asked Albert curiously. What is a secret? It is something very few people know. All the secrets of Upanishads are revealed in Sri Bhagavad Gita. But how many people could correctly understand Gita, including those who give lectures on Gita? Can't we understand by reading them? If German philosophers could understand, can't we understand? Asked Vimala. It's a good question. Many people are under the impression that truth could be understood only through scriptures like Upanishads only. But how many people can read and understand them? Mere reading ability is not sufficient to grasp the hidden truths. I do not say it is impossible, but it is challenging to have a direct understanding of truth by directly reading scriptures. First, either by self inquiry or with the help of a teacher, one could recognize the truth and then compare the knowledge with the scriptures for confirmation. It is rare to achieve the goal directly without the help of a teacher. Exceptions like Sri Ramana Maharshi and Kabir could be there, but they are very rare, said Swamiji. So, these two people had realized the truth on their own, asked Albert. Not only that, what they recognized tallied with the scriptures. But in the case of ordinary people, one should take the help of a guru who recognized the truth. It is like learning how to swim. One cannot learn swimming by reading books. First, one must learn from a teacher, and afterwards, if necessary, one could go to books for fine tuning, said Swamiji. In a way, I am happy that I need not start learning Sanskrit now, remarked Albert. That is why Prem Swarup sent you here, Swami. What do these two say about the world and God? Asked Albert. As I already told you, first you inquire who you are. Then automatically you would know the remaining two, said Swamiji. How do I know myself? Albert. Normally, we use the word knowing to something that is an object to you. Here, the subject and object are one. Here, you have to recognize your true self, said Swamiji. How to recognize that? Asked Albert curiously. I will explain. If somebody asks, who is Albert? You would reply, I am Albert, pointing to yourself. While doing so, you include your 6 feet body also, isn't it? Asked Swami. Do you mean to say that I and my body are not one? Asked Albert. There is a pen in your pocket. You say that is my pen. Pen and you are one? No, said Albert. Similarly, all those things that you see and are aware of, which are separate from you, you call them my leg, my body, my mind, my thoughts, my feelings of pain and pleasure. There is an awareness that is experiencing all these and behind which there is nothing else. That awareness is I, which is the subject, and everything else is object to it. That awareness, which cannot be an object to anything else, is I awareness. It is pure subject. When there are no thoughts, you just feel that you are aware of yourself. That is I awareness. You should recognize it first. That I awareness can be called by many names such as self or Atma or Jnana or just I awareness. You should recognize it. Remember, it is not any yoga or any action. Just make a mental analysis in the way I told you. That is, going back from objects outside your body and then going back from your body, mind, thoughts and feelings and recognizing that pure subjective I awareness. I will come back in 10 minutes. Please attempt it now, sitting in your chairs only. Swami went out, leaving them to do exercise. When I read the book Who Am I, bought in Ramanashramam, I had several doubts. Now I think I could try it, said Albert. Remembering what Swami said, he attempted making a mental note that his legs are objecting to him, so he is not his legs. He is not his heart. He is not the thoughts as they are objecting to him, and stopped at the pure subjective I awareness. He arrived at I awareness and just remained feeling it. Vimala also did the same, and after a little while both exchanged what they felt. A state of pure awareness without any thoughts is recognized by both and felt a kind of silent bliss, although for a little while only. Swami returned after some time and asked them, Have you recognized? Yes, said both of them together. That I awareness could be called jnana or atma also. Is this I awareness my swarupam? Asked Vimala. No, it is not swarupam. But with the help of that I awareness only, you have to recognize swarupam. We understood earlier that such recognition would be in two stages. One is intellectually, and the second as a direct understanding or recognition. But to recognize your I awareness, there are no stages as you are aware of yourself even now. Yes, said both. Now, what you recognized as your awareness or jnana could be described in another way. This information is required in the context of understanding Swarupam. This pure subjective I awareness or jnana could be described as Atma also. But whenever you use the word I in worldly transactions, the I does not mean Atma, said Swami. Probably it requires some elaboration, said Vimala. Suppose you ask Albert, where are you going? And he replies, I am going to church. Here, when he is using I, he does not mean Atma or pure subjective awareness, because here I includes his 6 feet body also. To differentiate between the two, different terms are used. Now, when Albert says, I am going to church, there the I is termed as Mithya Atma, implying that the word Atma includes his body and not just pure awareness. Against this, if you want to mention the I awareness, which you recognized by going back from all objects to the state of pure subjective awareness, you use the word Pratyak Atma or Pratyagatma, explained Swami. What is the meaning of the terms Mithya and Pratyak used to describe the two terms? Asked Albert. Very good. The term Mithya in a way means a myth. You are including your body also when you say you are going to church. When you recognize your Swarupam, you will realize that your body is a myth. We will discuss that later. The word Pratyak means separating or stepping back, working back from your body, mind and feelings. You are arriving at your pure subjective awareness. To indicate that stage, Pratyagatma is used. Now you tell me, are you Mithyatma or Pratyagatma? Swami asked Vimala. Vimala thought for a while and said, in day-to-day transactions, when I use the word I, it is Mithyatma. On the other hand, in the process of knowing my true self, if I step back from my body, mind, etc., I am Pratyagatma. Have you understood now? Swami asked Albert. Yeah, I know the difference now clearly, said Albert. Both of them returned to the guest house after prostrating to Swami. Both of them returned to Rajarao's guest house and discussed what Swami said that morning. Vimala heard the terms Atma and Paramatma in several discourses given in Prem Sarup Ashram. For the first time, she heard the terms Mithyatma and Pratyagatma described by Swami. But she wondered what the simple term Atma meant without any prefix and in what context it is used. They discussed and concluded that recognition of Pratyagatma is important. What are the characteristics or attributes of this Pratyagatma? Is it our Swarupam? They decided to ask Swami about this in the afternoon. After lunch and rest, both of them revisited Swami. They mentioned the discussion they had in the morning. The pure subjective I awareness or jnana is Pratyagatma. That is understood. Is it the same as Atma? Asked Vimala. To explain pure awareness, separating it from the objective part of the body, those terms are used. Once that is understood, whenever the term Atma is used, it should be understood as pure subjective I awareness only. The first step in recognizing Swarupam is recognizing this I awareness or jnana, as I told you in the morning. You attempted and understood directly what it is in the morning. I hope you remember that I already told you that when you recognize Swarupam only, answers to your questions on world and God could be obtained. Till such time, considered world and God as X in a mathematical problem to be solved. Here, you should note one important piece of information. The I awareness or jnana is not material. Swami paused. Both of them contemplated on what Swami said. Yes, it is not material. If it is material, it would be inert and would be an object to I awareness, Albert said with confidence. Are there any other features to I awareness, Swami? Asked Vimala. Before coming to that, you have to remember some other information. Your body and any other objects in the world are made up of 5 fundamental elements. They are earth, water, fire, air, and space. Other than your I awareness, everything else must belong to those 5 elements and their combinations. Now let us understand more about your I awareness. After listening, let me know whether you understood or not. I awareness is neither male nor female. There is no difference there. You may say, but I am male. The difference does not lie in awareness. The difference between male and female is concerning the body and not in I awareness, explained Swami. Though Albert was initially surprised at what Swami said, on contemplation he understood. Swami further said, it cannot be cut or made wet or affected by the fire. It is tough to describe it in words. When once it is understood that it is not material, there is no difficulty in understanding what Swami said about the nature of I awareness. Since it is essential, I am reiterating. I hope that there is no difficulty in recognizing I awareness, asked Swami. Recognize it, Swami. Only awareness is felt, and inhaling and exhaling is noticed, said Albert. Even observing that inhaling and exhaling should not be done as an action. Otherwise, it would be yoga. If you are just aware of it without any thoughts, you are just I awareness. When a thought arises in that state, there appears to be a movement in awareness. If there is no thought, you remain as awareness. You should not make any effort to prevent thoughts. I am saying all this to enable you to have a clear understanding of I awareness, explained Swami. To recognize Swarupam, does one just remain as pure awareness only? Asked Albert innocently. It is impossible to stay like that. Just to enable you to understand the state of pure awareness, I mentioned all these things. Now, let us learn another important thing. Now that you have recognized your I awareness, let us learn something more about it. This I awareness has 2 integral parts but not separate parts. You should know about them, said Swami. 2 inseparables in my I awareness? What are they, Swami? Asked Albert curiously. I am is a combination of 2 words, I and am. But you cannot separate them into 2. I indicates that you are aware of yourself. Am represents be. You exist. And you are aware of that existence, I. You cannot be aware of yourself without existing, and you cannot exist without being aware of yourself. So, existence and awareness are the 2 inseparable components of your I awareness, explained Swami. Both Albert and Vimala thought for a while and absorbed what Swami said. You could understand that with an example. In a flame, light and heat are inseparable. Like that, existence and awareness are inseparable in I awareness. The existence aspect is power and the awareness aspect is pure awareness, said Swami. You said existence is power. Could you elaborate that? Asked Albert. If you find anything existing, it is because of inherent power. All the objects you see are nothing but a combination of the five fundamental elements such as earth, water, fire, air, and space. All these have the power within them. If earth, moon, and stars like the sun are in space, then there must have been some power to keep them there. Existence only appears in different forms. You see that chair, table, and space between them all exist due to inherent power, explained Swami. The chair and table have inherent power to exist, but the space in between also has power, asked Albert. It is the existence that is appearing as a table and chair, and space also exists in between them. In space, all three are there. The power of existence only enables the remaining two to exist. There is no friend without friendship. Similarly, there is no object or space without existence, said Swami. There are objects which, as you said, are a combination of the five elements, and it is understood that each element has some power in it. But my I awareness is not an object, it is purely subject to awareness. You say it has also existence and power as the power in the fire and each other element. I am unable to understand that my I awareness also has the power, said Albert. As I already told you, you are aware of yourself because you exist. Without that inseparable power, you cannot be aware of yourself. Whatever actions you are doing in the world is due to that power in I awareness only. You will understand more when we progress in our investigation. For the time being, you just understand that you are aware of yourself because of the inherent power of existence. Let us learn two new terms from Sanskrit to express these terms. They are Sat, that is existence, and Chit, awareness. These inseparable two form your I awareness. In India, some children are named Satchidananda. It is the combination of three terms Sat, Chit and Ananda. It is derived from Taittiriya Upanishad, which is one of the famous 10 Upanishads to which Adi Shankara wrote a detailed commentary. That Upanishad declares that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam is existence, Jnana is awareness, and Anantam is infinite. All the three put together are named Brahman. That means infinite existence with awareness is Brahman, explained Swami. Then what is Ananda? Asked Albert. The infinite awareness that exists is always in a state of Ananda. It is not happiness that is derived from the senses. It is a kind of bliss not related to senses. This we could study at a later stage. Now let us understand the statement Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This statement implies that all that exists is infinite awareness and nothing else. Please note that if we use capital letter A in awareness or E in existence, it is indicative of infiniteness. Some use the term consciousness also instead of awareness. The existence of infinite awareness is also known as Paramatma, said Swami. Vimala remembered a bhajan Prem Swarup used to sing, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That means there is no individual or world or God, but what all that exists is infinite awareness. Is this the implication of the statement in the Upanishad? Asked Albert. Yes, that is the implication. You have correctly grasped, said Swami appreciatively. Why should I believe that statement? Our understanding is that we should arrive at truth as a direct understanding, not based on a belief system, asked Albert sincerely. I am not asking you to believe this statement. You forgot that our journey started with the objective of recognizing your Swarupam, that is, who you are. As a part of that investigation, I wanted you to recognize first your I awareness, is it not? Said Swamiji. Yes, we recognized I awareness and learned that it has two inseparables called Sat and Chit, or existence and awareness, said Albert, remembering earlier discussions and exercise. Addressing Vimala, Swami said, the goddesses like Parvati, Lakshmi, Saraswati represent the Sat or existence aspect, and the deities Vishnu and Shiva represent the Chit aspect. To bring the infinite existence and awareness to the level of ordinary people, they are reduced as God and his consort in the religious literature and also installed in temples. If you stop at that level, you will be lost in a belief system only. You explain this to Albert so that he understands the concept, said Swami. Vimala explained the concept to Albert again, and Albert said that he understood it. Albert got a doubt and he addressed Swami. Swami, even now with my I awareness I exist and I am aware of my existence. Since Brahman is nothing but inseparable existence and awareness, am I not Brahman? There is a difference. Let me explain to you with an example. Waves rise in the ocean because of inherent power in the ocean. Every wave has its own height with curves and foam. Due to ignorance, suppose each wave is under the impression that it is separate from the ocean and has some height with special characteristics like curves and foam. The water in the ocean only is appearing as a wave, and there is nothing but water in the wave. The so called forms and foam of the wave are nothing but water. Even if the wave subsides temporarily into the ocean, if the ignorance is not cleared, it may think that it is separate from the ocean when it rises again. When the ignorance is cleared with an inquiry, it recognizes that all along it is water only, and the form of the wave is nothing but an appearance due to the power of the ocean. Till such recognition takes place, it thinks it is a wave separate from the ocean, whether rises as a wave or remain immersed in the ocean. Then, does it mean that there are two I awareness, like the one that rises like a wave and one that is temporarily immersed in the ocean? Asked Albert. The wave which thinks it is separate from the ocean is false wherever it is. The wave which through inquiry recognizes its Swarupam is the wave that recognizes that it is not separate from the ocean, explained Swami. So, the I awareness when in worldly transactions and the I awareness remaining without thoughts during the process of inquiry are both false, remarked Albert. So long as your I awareness is shrouded with ignorance that it is limited to the body, you are not Brahman. Your I awareness is always attached to a thought that it is Albert. Thought of Albert means it includes all the details of your personality as a bundle. Even when you reach a pure I awareness state, after separating yourself from objects like body, mind, feelings, etc., it is still Mithya Atma or false I, and the bundle of personality is still attached to it as you have not yet recognized Swarupam. Let me explain this with another example. Suppose a bucket attached to a rope is dropped into a well and immersed in the well. During the immersion, you do not feel the weight of the bucket with water. It is as if the water in the bucket is merged in the well. But the moment you pull out with the rope, the weight is felt as the bucket is still attached to the rope. Similarly, though you may feel pure eye awareness in the process of inquiry, the moment you come out of that state, your personality of Albert is still attached to eye awareness as Swarupam is not yet recognized. Swarupam is to be recognized through proper inquiry till you recognize your infinite nature. Swami, could you please explain as to how the ignorance that eye awareness is limited to the body arose? Asked Albert. Though some say the reason cannot be traced, it could be understood in a way. Ignorance is also the function of the inherent power of the Sat aspect of Brahman. You could understand it if you notice the process of entering sleep and waking from sleep. When you try to sleep in the night, you make effort to go to sleep, but you are not aware of the exact moment at which you slip into sleep. Similarly, you are not aware of your waking up moment also. The power in your eye awareness only is operating in those moments as if it is covering itself with a blanket while entering sleep and removing the same while waking up. You have no role in both functions. Now, due to the operation of that power only, you both started making attempts to recognize Swarupam. I got another doubt. Swami, in the case of a wave, it is water all along even when it is believed that it was separate from the ocean. But in my case, to recognize pure subjective eye awareness, I had to step back from the body, mind, feelings, etc. to reach eye awareness. So, all the objects eliminated as non self are not eye awareness. But in the case of a wave, all the parts are nothing but water even before inquiry. Good question. The most interesting thing is that all those objects from which you stepped back to arrive at eye awareness are also eye awareness, just like every part of the wave is water. You will realize this only after recognizing your Swarupam. We have to discuss some more points for you to proceed further. We will do that tomorrow, Swami said, getting up.